Hi there guys, I'm JC Ryan James Cropper, and today what I want to do for you all is I want to give you some information on how to meditate properly. Not only that, but how to increase your imagination. You see, imagination is very important, and in these next lineup of videos, I'm going to be emphasizing the importance of your imagination. You see, it's very misunderstood, but if you know what you're doing with your imagination, you can actually unlock aspects of your subconscious mind. Not only can you unlock them, but you can communicate to them. You can also communicate to your body, because your body is the subconscious mind. And if you're able to communicate to your body, then you can bring about a desired change in your physiology, just by accessing your subconscious mind. And so, bridging the gap between your ordinary awareness and your subconscious mind is very important. And you do that using imagination. Now, in my new book, I got a new one. I wrote down some things about how to do this. So a lot of these little techniques you can add to a variety of practices, such as yoga, maybe Vinasana meditation, or some type of Kriya yoga. And they will all pay you good dividends. They'll increase your payoff dramatically, mainly because of the association that this particular type of exercise has when it comes to bringing about specific change within your reality, your internal environment, and so forth. First thing I'd like to mention before I get into all of this stuff, there is a huge difference between having your eyes open and having them closed during a meditation. When you have your eyes closed, you're working on your internal world. And so things such as traumas, memories, emotions, maybe the mechanics behind some of your habits. You'll gain a deeper understanding for what's inside yourself and how you're wired psychologically. That's with your eyes closed. With them open, it deals with your ability to perceive this reality. How you perceive your friends, the environment around you, maybe the future even. Again, you're probably thinking, how can you perceive the future with your eyes open? Well, everyone daydreams with their eyes open. Yeah, this is quite important. When you daydream, your eyes are open because subconsciously you're sending a signal to your brain saying that what you're thinking about deals with this external reality. Okay? When you close your eyes, it's a little different. You close your eyes, you can't daydream, you dream. And when you dream, you go into a reality that's completely different compared to this reality. And so when you have your eyes open, you can actually adjust and alter your perception of this reality, including the people and or things around you. And yourself. It goes into mirror meditation. For example, if you stare at yourself in the mirror, you'll probably notice that you're getting some feedback, some pings inside your mind. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't like the way I look, or why am I smiling like that? That must be pretty annoying to anyone receiving that type of facial expression. Or like, why do I have like a sad face? Like, what's going on? Or why is my face resting a certain type of way? And so that's you getting feedback. You're perceiving your physical reality and you're able to contemplate and think about it. That in and of itself is a meditation. Now you can steer that meditation some more. Let's say, okay, I'm going to touch on something I'm going to talk about later on, but for the sake of this little piece it will make sense. Let's say you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, why am I smiling like that? I don't like how that could come across to the public. And then you think to yourself, okay, how do I want to smile? And so you imagine yourself smiling with your eyes open, kind of like your eyes just glaze over and go off to the side. You imagine yourself smiling in a different way, a way that's more pleasing. And you'll notice that your face will start to smile in a way that's more pleasing. Maybe your eyes will go up a little bit. And it's an instant effect. You just see that happen. You probably just caught it on camera there. That's just an example as to how you can use your eyes open within a meditation in order to get a specific result. In that instance, it was personal development. Changing my personality using my imagination. With your eyes closed, let's use another example of a meditation that you could do with your eyes closed. Let's say you close your eyes. There we go. Instantly I feel my emotions from throughout the day and even within the week. So let's say I wanted to do something with these. I want to clear my emotional state. I want to unwind and relax and get grounded. So I'd focus on these emotions and I'd breathe. I'd say to myself, thank God. All of that is over with, done and dusted, And I just pay attention to the present moment as to how there's nothing around me that's bothering me, and the events within the past aren't happening right now. They're finished. And I feel my internal environment just relax even more. Okay? By the way, whilst I'm doing this, I'm not aware of what's going on outside of me because my eyes are closed. It kind of shuts off everything. More on that later. But I'm not aware of anything around me. It's all internal. And so there is a huge difference between meditating with your eyes open versus having them closed. And depending on the result that you want to achieve, that would depend on which one you choose. Okay, now the second thing I want to go into here is time and space. More accurately, your sense of time-space. When you have your eyes closed, your sense of time and space disappears. This world around you no longer exists. And the more you go inside of your mind, the more you're able to delve deep within yourself, the less of this reality you're aware of. You're already aware of this because every time you go to sleep, when you're dreaming, you're not aware of what's happening around you, are you? You know, the more you slip into it, the more you start to experience the dream world. Matter of fact, sometimes you can dream days at a time, or even weeks, and then you wake up and only 8 hours has passed. Or perhaps 4 or 3 hours have gone by. So what's going on there? When you close your eyes, you're going inside of your pineal gland. And your pineal gland shields you off from this reality, including your sense of space and time. And so when you're inside your pineal gland and you're dreaming or you're dimensionally traveling, you completely disconnect from this sense of space-time. Okay? And so this also is the case with your imagination. When you start to imagine things within your pineal gland, you shield yourself from this reality. Now this is very, very important, okay? Mainly because when you're able to get away from this reality, you're able to believe in a different kind of reality. Your dreams feel much realer when you're under the illusion that you're dreaming. You know, when you're really embedded in that storyline. Now not only does this unplug you from this reality's sense of space and time, but it also jacks you into your own sense of space and time. Based on what it is that you're doing within your imagination. And so this is very, very important because the further away you can get from this reality, the more you can experience within your internal reality, and the more of a side effect you'll actually have on this reality, your physical body, for example. If you're inside a dream, completely oblivious of this world around you, and you're completely invested in the world inside of your mind, you're running around, you're being chased, and you're freaking out, right? You then wake up, and your body is sweating, your heart is racing. Now, the reason as to why your body was able to do this, react so efficiently to your internal environment, was because your body couldn't tell the difference between this reality and what was happening to you within your imagination, within your dream time. And it seems that the further away you are from this sense of time and space, and the more you're in here, the more of an effect that you'll have on your physical body, the more it will react to your thoughts, your inner thoughts, or your internal reality. There was a study done where a couple of gentlemen, ages 60 to 80, were told to imagine themselves being 22 for just 5 days. And so they're very much inside their own imaginations for the most part, just by recalling the memory. And one of the doctors also decided to put them under hypnosis every now and then throughout the 5 days. During the doctor's practice, what he was doing was he was putting them into a deep trance-like state where they would start to lose touch with this reality. And they would start to believe that the memories that they were recalling were real. Now what started happening was over the period of 5 days, their physical body reacted. And their physical body started getting taller, their joints started getting looser, their arthritis started to subside, and they actually started to age backwards because their physical body couldn't tell the difference between the internal reality and what was going on out here. To the mind and body, these patients were experiencing their past within their past. And so because of the circumstances surrounding their past, their body reacted to their internal environment of the past environment. The doctor also made sure to litter their environment with memorabilia, things that they occupied their time with when they were 22, magazines, DVDs, and so forth. And so they literally were able to disconnect from this reality and start to embody and feel like they were actually 22. It was perfect. Perfect chemistry. Some strange things happened. If you guys want more information on this, I suggest reading this book. It's called You Are the Placebo. Making Your Mind Matter by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Screenshot that. So, what does this mean? What this means is that whether you know how it's done or not, if you've experienced night sweats or night terrors, if you've thought about the future, actively placing your imagination and your sense of self there, and then had a physical anxious reaction, then whether you know what's happening or not, you can actually affect your biochemistry with just your imagination. Now this goes into biokinesis, being able to change your genetic expression just by thought alone. When you're thinking about stressful thoughts, you're actually flooding your system with stress hormones. So that counts. That's superpower. You've just become very, very good at biogenetically altering your chemistry towards stress, as opposed to immortality, for example, or aging backwards, or changing your eye color, or your hair length and skin complexion, for example. Just name a few. But what if, when you think about what you want to achieve within your imagination, it not only affects your physical body, but also your astral body, your emotional body, your etheric body, your light bodies? What if you're able to not only trigger with your imagination a genetic response, but also a psycho-spiritual response, opening chakras, the crown, levitating off the floor because you've just activated your kundalini? It's my belief that this is exactly what happens when people meditate on a specific desired outcome, like moving something with their mind, clear intention as to what they want, and they clearly imagine it, that what they're actually doing is they're convincing themselves that it's actually happening within their mind. And so their mind thinks that this is happening in 3D, and so it turns on specific parts of your energy body, which then allows you to move those things, or it triggers or awakens the ability of telekinesis. And so I've made a video on this, a live stream actually, a couple of days ago, and you can find that right now on my YouTube. It's like an hour and something long. It's very long on how to develop psychic abilities. But it's not just telekinesis. This is anything here, because your body knows a lot. More on that in that video. I talk about how you've got like 98.9% of your genetic expression not expressed yet. And if that was to be expressed or triggered through your imagination, then what could you look like? What could you achieve? What could you become? What could you do? My third point to make here is your environment. When it comes to meditation, it's very important to set up your environment a specific way. And even more important is your mindset going into the meditation in regard to environment. Okay, you have to mentally decompress and choose. Just decide to have a moment where you're not going to be pulled. You're not going to think about the future, what you need to do, your to-do list. You're not going to think about downstairs, what's on TV, your phone. You can't be pulled. So your internal setting needs to be very relaxed with the idea that you're not going to be distracted throughout your meditation. Okay, it needs to be okay with that. And so that's internal setting. Now, external setting, when it comes to the physical attributes of your environment, make sure you're not being pulled by sunlight beaming through your window and smashing you in the face when you're trying to meditate, because you're going to feel and see that, and that's going to distract you. It's going to pull you out of your meditation. Noises, make sure you're in a quiet place. It's very important. It's also very important that you tell anybody that could potentially disturb you that you're about to meditate and that you need privacy, because if they come upstairs, they're going to pull you out of it. These are simple things, but when you realize the importance of not being reminded of this reality in regard to forgetting and being able to bring yourself into a different sense of reality, then you're going to want to do these things more often. You're going to want to reinforce this kind of mindset going into your meditative practices. Okay, this is really important. If you're trying to meditate, but you're falling asleep, remember memories first. For some reason, when you're remembering memories, you can't fall asleep. Your body can get really, really relaxed, but you're not falling asleep at all. And so if you're finding it hard to stay conscious, just remember your memories first for a little while, and then decide to switch over to whatever meditative practice you were attempting to do. Oh, this one's cool. This strengthens your imagination, like ridiculously. I used to do this walking from work to my house. I used to listen to music, and I used to imagine a black room, and gradually as the sound would start playing in my ear, I'd imagine those instruments being formed out of matter, like out of geometry, just forming solid objects, all the way up until the people speaking and yelling, and you'll just see their mouth forming, and then you see the blood moving, and everything that's needed to sing without the legs and arms. And I would imagine this. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because when you're able to close your eyes and imagine the small details, you end up sending a signal to your mind, to your subconscious, telling it to focus, to zero in on what you're looking at, as opposed to you being pulled out. Because sometimes when you're trying to imagine, you're like, oh, this isn't working, and you get pulled here. It kind of fades in and out. But if you just imagine a speck of light that's just twisting and spiraling just throughout space, a really cool effect. It's a very tiny speck of light. What happens is your mind is like, oh, that's something to zero in on. That's something to pay attention to. And it goes boom. And you end up looking at it, really paying attention to it within your third eye. Everything else around that object blurs. If you make this a habit, it will strengthen your third eye dramatically. It will also increase your internal sense of time and space, further having you go into your imagination, unplugging you from this reality. And lastly, but by no means the least, slowly open your eyes if you're doing an internal practice. If you're meditating with your eyes closed, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you've just figured out, play that in your mind as you slowly open your eyes, and then keep playing that information on repeat. Because what that does is it signals to your brain that you're now perceiving your external reality, only now whatever you just figured out internally now applies to your external reality. For example, if you realized that maybe the bully in school really was just bullying you because he was going through his own stuff at home. Cool. If you just open your eyes, you might forget that. It might feel like you just had a dream that wasn't really real. But if you open your eyes slowly whilst thinking about that, your mind connects your internal reality with your external reality. Then it will make it easier for you to get over that person. One more thing. You've heard about this, you've probably done this, but do you know why you do this? Staring at a candle. It's very hard to get someone to believe that they're a millionaire or that they're supernaturally gifted. And so usually, people who find meditation very difficult are those who second guess a lot, like what someone else is saying. They got a thick wall, so to speak, a thick logic wall. And that prevents people from suggesting things to them. And so they're not very suggestible, they doubt a lot, they tend to second guess a lot. And so if you're the type of person who's tried to do a lot of things, like moving things with your mind, or heating up your body, or setting something on fire, or trying to hear voices, or see the future, no matter what it is, but you second guess yourself a lot, it's because you're too logical. Now, when you're logical, your mind isn't in theta anymore. When you're in theta, you're fully suggestible. Meaning, if I tell you something, you're going to believe in it. If you're in a theta brainwave state. This is why they say when you meditate, make sure you're in theta. And theta is just you being relaxed. A very dimly lit room, and you're breathing slowly, and you're in a theta brainwave state now. This means that if you listen to affirmations, or if you're imagining your internal reality being a specific type of way, then you're going to be more likely to believe in your experience of listening to the affirmations or seeing what it is that you're envisioning for yourself inside of your third eye. It's because you're in theta. Kids born between 1 to 6, close to 8, are in theta brainwave pattern. And so when you tell them that Santa Claus exists and that fairies are real, they're more suggestible to believing you. It's not until a certain part of their brain develops that they actually start to second guess everything that's being said to them. When you stare at a candle, it shuts down these parts of the brain, that second guess everything that you're hearing. And so not only that, but because they're shut down, you'll also not, because you're not second guessing, doubt. You won't be a skeptic. You won't doubt in your abilities neither. And so you'll be staring at a candle. This is what you can do. You can stare at a candle for about 10 to 20 minutes just to shut those parts of your brain down. And then lay down into your meditation with your eyes closed and or open. And that'll allow you to just access your subconscious mind a little easier. So that's it. This has been Your Potential, guys. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. You can check out my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Or if you want to book a session with me, because I am a spiritual life coach, I take people through hypnosis-like meditations via Skype calls. And I also have a whole host of other services other than guided meditations on my website, ryancropper.com, and some online video courses. I'll speak to you pretty soon. Peace.